The world of bodybuilding has given us many legends, but few rivalries are as iconic as that of Sergio Oliva and Arnold Schwarzenegger. The late 60s and early 70s were a time of giants, and these two stood taller than the rest. But what if history took a different turn? What if the myth Sergio Oliva had overshadowed the Austrian Oak in those crucial years at Mr. Olympia? Today, we delve deep into this alternate universe of muscle and might. Let's flex our imaginations and find out. In the pantheon of sports that measure human potential, few events carry as much weight, both literally and figuratively, as the Mr. Olympia competition. Since its inception in 1965, Mr. Olympia has been the Super Bowl of the bodybuilding world. A platform where the most chiseled, determined and sculpted athletes converge to be crowned the best of the best. Among those titans, two names have resonated louder than most during the late 60s and early 70s: Sergio Oliva and Arnold Schwarzenegger. These men weren't just competitors, they were symbols of an era, representing the pinnacle of physical dedication and discipline. Sergio Oliva, aptly nicknamed The Myth, was nothing short of a marvel in the bodybuilding realm. Born in Cuba, his journey to the top was marked by both determination and defiance. Oliva's impressive physique, characterized by his unimaginable V-taper and impressive size, led him to secure the coveted Mr. Olympia title 3 times in a row from 1967 to 1969. His presence on stage was both daunting and captivating, making him a force to be reckoned with. On the other side was Arnold Schwarzenegger, the charismatic Austrian Oak. Arriving in the United States from Austria with limited English and a dream to make it big, Arnold's ambition was as pronounced as his biceps. By the age of 23, he'd already secured the Mr. Olympia title in 1969. Setting the stage for what would become one of the most riveting rivalries in the sport. Their head-to-head matchups were nothing short of legendary. With Oliva's established dominance and Schwarzenegger's rapidly rising star, their competitions were not just about individual titles, but also about setting the trajectory for bodybuilding's golden age. The spotlight was as much on their contrasting physiques, Oliva's dense muscularity versus Schwarzenegger's aesthetic proportions, as it was on their contrasting personalities. Oliva's reserved demeanor juxtaposed against Schwarzenegger's magnetic charisma. Imagine, if you will, a world where Sergio Oliva's unmatched muscularity once again edged out Schwarzenegger's symmetrical finesse in 1970. The crowd at the Mr. Olympia venue would have been abuzz. Some in disbelief, and others triumphantly vindicated. As the reigning champion, Oliva's retention of the title would signal his unyielding dominance, solidifying his reputation as an unstoppable force. The following year, the anticipation would only intensify, with many wondering if Schwarzenegger could make a comeback. But in our alternate history, 1971 too would see the myth standing tall, trophy in his hand, as the indomitable Mr. Olympia. In the immediate aftermath, the media would be awash with stories of Oliva's triumphs. Magazines, then the primary medium of bodybuilding enthusiasts, would be adorned with images of Oliva flexing, his muscles glistening. With these back-to-back victories, Oliva's legacy as one of the all-time greats in bodybuilding would have been irrefutable. 5 consecutive Mr. Olympia titles would have placed him on a pedestal reserved for only the most legendary in the sport. This level of recognition would not be limited to trophies and accolades. Endorsement deals would likely flood in, with sports nutrition companies, gym equipment manufacturers, and fitness magazines all vying for the myth to be their brand ambassador. His proven track record would make him a highly sought-after figure for guest appearances, seminars, and perhaps even his own line of fitness products. Moreover, the 1970s was a time when bodybuilders began making a splash in Hollywood. While Schwarzenegger's transition to the silver screen is well documented, with a heightened profile from his continued dominance, Oliva might have caught the eyes of casting directors. Action-packed roles could have been tailored for a man of his stature and presence. Public perception would have shifted significantly too. Oliva, already a celebrated figure, would be seen as the definitive bodybuilder of his generation. His training methods, diet, and lifestyle would be the gold standard. And while the bodybuilding community deeply respects him even in reality, in this alternate timeline, his influence would be even more pronounced, with many considering him not just one of the greats, but perhaps the greatest of all. Arnold Schwarzenegger's trajectory to superstardom is one that's been documented, analyzed and celebrated extensively. But without the pivotal Mr. Olympia victories in 1970 and 71, one might wonder how different the path of the Austrian Oak would have been. At the heart of Schwarzenegger's fame were not just his physical accomplishments, but his unwavering determination, charm, and keen sense of ambition. While the consecutive defeats might have been initial setbacks, they likely wouldn't have dampened his spirit. Schwarzenegger had always showcased an ability to reinvent himself, and this hypothetical scenario would have been no different. The defeats might have even added another layer to Schwarzenegger's motivational speaking. Stories of setbacks, resilience, and the determination to rise above challenges resonate deeply with audiences. This alternate narrative could have given him a unique vantage point to inspire countless individuals. As for his business ventures and political aspirations, Schwarzenegger's sharp acumen and ability to network would likely have propelled him forward. The Mr. Olympia titles were undoubtedly significant, but his broader appeal, especially in the US, was multifaceted and not solely tied to his bodybuilding success. His gubernatorial victory in California in 2003, for instance, was a culmination of his popularity, adaptability, and commitment to public service, rather than a direct consequence of his bodybuilding accolades. The late 60s and early 70s saw a golden age of bodybuilding, with several remarkable athletes sharing the stage. While Schwarzenegger and Oliva were the most prominent figures, there were others who brought their unique strengths to the platform. Frank Zane, known for his aesthetic physique and proportionality, was one such competitor. His approach contrasted with the mass monsters of the era, focusing instead on symmetry and definition. With 3 Mr. Olympia titles from 1977 to 1979, Zane was a testament to the fact that size wasn't the only winning factor. Another significant name was Franco Colombo, a close friend of Schwarzenegger and a formidable bodybuilder in his own right. Colombo's compact, dense musculature, combined with his impressive strength, made him a standout. His Mr. Olympia wins in 1976 and 1981 showcased his competitive edge. There were also contenders like Boyako, known for his impressive arms and balanced physique, and Lou Ferrigno, whose sheer size and stage presence were awe-inspiring. Each brought their distinct flavor to the competitions, challenging the norms and pushing boundaries. In this alternate scenario, with Oliva reigning supreme, these contemporaries would undoubtedly have recalibrated their strategies, setting their sights on challenging the myth. The dynamic of the competitions would have been electrifying, with each bodybuilder bringing his best to dethrone the champion. Thanks for joining us on this muscle-bound journey. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of bodybuilding.